Hello again in UTech Pixel channel. This video I'm making just to make a short update on the progress of my development of this game. So what I managed to do is to finalize the, let's say, home scene with a short tutorial where it's explaining I'm gonna approach the first NPCs, have some kind of chit chat, enter tutorial. The tutorial is pretty much as well done, so it's explaining the basics mechanics of the game, like what kind of items can be approached during the game and how to access the menu. The menu is also finalized. I'm not gonna change anything. I add a couple of the animations around the buttons just to really expose that they are pressed and they are active. And that's for all of the bars and buttons. And then it's the next part of the tutorial to pick up the weapon, how to use it, and pick up the ball, how to use it as well. I change as well slightly the animation for the ball. Now it's a little bit bigger for a pickup. It has a shadow, so when you change it, that's how it looks more or less. And continue tutorial with the battles, with the chests. You probably have noticed that there is a little slight change with the size of the animation sprites, like chests and the player as well. Well, this is a big change that I made for a couple of past days. I'm still in the progress. I'm changing I'm downsizing the sprites from 32 pixels to 16, just to match the art style of the environment. Plus, it will help me to save time while drawing the enemies, because they will be also 16 by 16. It's significantly less work than continuing with the 32 by 32 pixels. So that's the part of the tutorial, and then we are entering the portal to the home scene. In the home scene, there is a further explanation. We're meeting with the boss, who is explaining us that there is a shop nearby. We can go to talk with the shopkeeper, and after discussing with shopkeeper, he will present us the shop. However, at the start we have just 7 coins, and the price right now on the items is 0, but it will be much higher, so we probably won't be able to buy anything. That's just for the explanation. Then we're approaching this item collection place. There is the place where all of the items will be collected, so we will have a main equipment that we can change. And for the moment we don't have much items because I haven't produced them, but if we will have like 50 artifacts, there will be a list of the artifacts in here, balls and weapons as well. So just by example, there will be a new currency to buy it, because this list of items will be unchanged, will be saved in between the runs. This is something in order to try to find in a game all of the items and, let's say, purchase them, and we can assign them as our main item. It has automatically changed in the player. Okay, the sprite hasn't been changed yet, but that's more or less how it works. Then we can change it back to the main, to the previous weapon. So this is kind of feature that will maybe help the game to some replayability for the game. With the new currency that will pop up really not so often during the game, so there will be a limited amount of the currency, and we will be able to gradually build up the collection of the items that we have. So after that, there is again discussion with the boss, who is sending us to the first dungeon, and then we are entering first dungeon, and after that it's the adventure starts. So basically we are looking for the exit of those dungeons. They are like 20 levels. I have a level indicator right now. This is level 1. I don't have yet the art style for the enemies, so there are not so many of them, and the idea idea will be to search through the dungeon for the new items, for coins and for gems, in order to build up our experience during the game. So then we are going to the next level and the next level, and right now my idea is to have around 15 to 20 levels per dungeon. There are 3 dungeons in the game, so it's a pretty small game. And after that, I mean, every dungeon will end up with the fight with some small boss, and which will be slightly more difficult than the enemies. After that, we'll have let's say the goal of the game will be to exit the one enemy here. So I have also implemented, I mean, let me finish the thought from the past. So the idea is to finalize all of the dungeons, and then the chief of the home scene will open us the portal to the different world. So it's pretty simple, easygoing scenario. I've been working also on some pop-ups, I mean some effects for the player, like for example the sound of the heat, or the indicator of how the player is, how the enemy is when enemy is hit by stun, by slip, by poison. For example, when we found the enemy here, I'm not sure if there is no enemy this time. So basically the color of the sprite of the enemy will change depending on what kind of status he will be on. So he might be on the in sleep mode, in stun mode, or poison mode, and the color of the sprite will slightly change. So right now I'm focusing to finalize the art style modification. Then my next step will be to draw several enemies for the first dungeon. When I will have a first dungeon ready with the boss fight and so on, I will try to prepare maybe some kind of small demo and put it on a website, on the WebGL or itch.io, just for free, to play the first part. And then when all of the dungeons will be ready, hopefully in a couple of months, I will be thinking about publishing the game with a small commission, maybe a couple of cents, just to have a funds for the next games in the future. Okay, so right now level 3 is the last level here. Then we are coming back to the main square, where we're gonna continue our discussions with the NPCs and so on. So that's for the moment. Thanks for attention, and see you in the future with the next changes. Hopefully the more significant one, like for example another BIOS, another dungeon, the second one with the art style. But let's see. See you. Ciao.